And if you remember, I said there was a good chance Philadelphia would lose this game, and you looked at me surprisingly.
Well, the game was still a fourth quarter football game.
And he turned the ball over twice with bad interceptions.
Minnesota did everything in that ball game to want to lose.
Absolutely. So it's the way it is with handicapping in the NFL.
So without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, he's got the toupee on correct this day. He is my friend, Mike North. Joins us again for his spot. With us here each and every single Friday at 4:30 Eastern time. How you doing, brother?
Having a good hair day, it looks like I am, Sills. You know that. Right now, a little bit tilted to the left, the toupee right now, but, a little R.J. Wagner-ish, if you will. But I'm feeling good. Everything's going well. I got a football team in my hometown of Chicago that has been very fortunate to the fact that they've won 3 games. And when you say, does luck matter in the National Football League? Well, you block a kick against the Raiders, and you win that game. You pick up a fumble in a bad exchange with the Commanders. Okay. And then last week, there's a false start on a fumble that the Bears recover at their goal line. And they end up basically winning all those games. So we're winning games that, believe me, it took 20 years to win. And we've won 3 in a row, sort of like the 2016 with Peanut Tillman and Urlacher and guys like that, that Lance Briggs, that got turnovers. And we're leading the league in turnovers. And, yeah, I heard the gentleman. And by the way, you got to me a little late today, okay? Can you run that by the board?
Yes, sir. I will make sure that
I got a little late. I didn't have the M&Ms in my dressing room and what have. No, I was enjoying the conversation because you feed off the last person who was on, who's great. And he said, Mike's going to have a good day. I'm never going to change from game to game. Jalen Hurts is a hell of a quarterback. He beat a team that was poised to beat Philadelphia, but a former Eagle. And Carson Wentz, I bet Minnesota in that game. And if you remember, I said there was a good chance Philadelphia would lose this game, and you looked at me surprisingly.
The game was still a fourth quarter football game.
And he turned the ball over twice with bad interceptions.
Minnesota did everything in that ball game to want to lose.
Absolutely. So it's the way it is with handicapping in the NFL. But you got Philadelphia looking good now. I said it again on my show on ESPN 1000. I brought the Philadelphia fans, and they're very hard to please, like Bear fans. And I said, I would take Jalen Hurts on the Bears right now. And, you got the kid like Caleb Williams, who's thrown for 58% only in his last 4 games. We're winning games in spite almost of the quarterback.
Yeah, but Mike, let me ask you this, though. Aren't those games in the past Chicago loses?
Absolutely.
Aren't those games that guess what?
And I went over I went over the reasons why we won those games. And Caleb Williams, by the way, in the hand, and like against Dallas, he threw 4 touchdowns. So I mean, I'm not besmirching him, or besmirching him. What I'm saying is special teams in the old days. And I'll tell you what Ben won me over with Ben Johnson. It was this week.
Oh, so wait, you've now been won over by him.
In a way I have, and I'll tell you why. Before Ben Johnson came here, razzle-dazzle, sis-kumbah football, the way flea flickers, but he had the talent. And I remember Brian Billick of the Ravens, who won a Super Bowl, and I remember being absolutely livid because he decided it was all about him, and he got in Elvis Gerbeck to take Trent Dilfer's spot, who won the Super Bowl for him, by playing the type of football that Billick called for him. And then he got rid of Trent. And Billick never won again and was thrown out.
Kyle Buller.
Right. And was taken out of the league.
Yeah.
After that. Never did anything. So I just think that the way Johnson handed the ball to Swift consistently showed great discipline. It's not about Ben Johnson. It's not about the headlines. It's I'm going to keep sticking with the run.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams had very little to do with that football win. It was the 300 yards from scrimmage from Swift, who is a relative unknown, even though he's been a big money back for a few years and started in Detroit. That was awesome, wasn't it? Thank you.
Yeah, hey, listen, Detroit, and then I thought he did a really good job when he was in Philadelphia too. I mean, he had 1,100 yards rushing.
Absolutely. And then I was thinking of you when Hurts was putting up those scores. We'll see what he does this week. You got the New York Giants.
But Mike, my problem with Hurts is that he doesn't do it week to week.
Yeah, but you know what? Tell that to any Philadelphia fan who sees.
Yeah, no, and he wins week to week. He wins week to week.
That's all you have to win. I said the other day, everybody's going, "Oh, Caleb." I go, Caleb Williams gets a D+ for this game, and they, yeah, you're probably right. I go, listen, it doesn't matter. When we had Mitch Trubisky, we were 29-21, went to 2 playoffs in 4 years. Okay, I didn't care if he threw for 3 yards. I don't care if Caleb Williams throws for 3 yards. I just saw a little piece with Rex Grossman. He could go in any bar in America and go, I was a Super Bowl quarterback. They'd laugh at him. And you know what? He's a Super Bowl quarterback. And he said, when's the last time Chicago had a Super Bowl party? When I played quarterback. Period. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who threw for this and did that. It's who was the field general at the time. And he might be the worst quarterback ever to play in the Super Bowl. But he got there. And he got there by design. Sometimes you got to give the coaching staffs credit for knowing what they got. I sound like you rock me a little bit, don't you? Don't I?
No, I love it.
Did I inspire you?
Yeah, yes, totally.
You know I did, Sills. Come on.
Let me throw this at you now here, Mike.
Yeah.
Next week is the bye week for the Eagles. After this game against the Giants, they got a bye. Okay.
You have trouble there.
So AJ Brown's missed the entire week. He's been ruled out for this game here.
We have a hand.
I don't remember him getting hurt in that last game against Minnesota. You know, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not a guy that likes to question injuries or not, but isn't everybody hurt right now in the NFL?
I don't care if he plays it down for the Eagles. I love Devontae Smith, and Devontae Smith had 9 catches in that last game. Okay, he's the star of that team. And maybe that's one of the problems A.J. Brown has. Maybe there's a hidden competition between him. I don't know what they're related. He might be close friends with Devontae Smith. But Devontae Smith was an undersized receiver.
You can be friends, Mike, on a team, but have a competitive competition. With
absolutely. And he sees a game within the game. He sees that he's losing ground to Devontae Smith, who's the better receiver, keeps his mouth shut, just plays the game, hands the ball to the ref. Was doubted coming out of Alabama because of his frame.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you got this Terrell Owens type character, me, I. I've been right about Hurts and I'm right about Brown. He's a cancer. If anybody could stop the Philadelphia Eagle Express, you know, if he got a 15-yard penalty for disorderly conduct or whatever, no, that's the wrong word for it. But what do you call it? Whatever, a flag for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike.
It would be him. He'd be like Draymond Green was to Golden State. You know, they lost the damn championship because somebody opened up their mouth. I want a guy like Devontae Smith who was doubted, has a lot of dog in him, and is disciplined enough to play great football. 9 catches, came up big against you, Minnesota.
Man, I mean,
that's pretty damn good, isn't it? Did you like that?
Listen,
you're almost gasping out of admiration.
I can't figure this out, man. I mean, I don't think the guy get this. I think he loves Philly. I think he loves the players he's with. I just don't think he likes the offense he's in because you know why? Mike, let me ask you this. Would you rather have a world championship ring, a Super Bowl ring, or a Hall of Fame ring? And let me go here. 3,200 men since 1967, was it? 66, the first Super Bowl. 60 years coming up in Santa Clara in Super Bowls. 3,200 men have Super Bowl rings. Only 351 men have Hall of Fame rings. One's the most exclusive club in all of pro football, and that's the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
What would you rather own?
Well, the winner and me and you, of course, because I respect you immensely, is both. You want that first. And I've been fortunate. I got, I played at a different sandlot type of situations, but for top flight softball, football, stuff like that. And I won championships and stuff like that. But I'm in 4 Hall of Fames in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay? And to be in those Hall of Fames means a lot. And you do, usually if you have Hall of Famers, you win. Now, I come from Chicago where we had 4 Hall of Famers, for instance, Fergie Jenkins, Ron Santo, Ernie Banks, and Billy Williams, and we didn't win diddly. So if you ask them,
also Sayers and Butkus too on the
Sayers and Butkus. But if you ask them at the end now, where would you rather be? But at the time, they wanted a championship. Now, to be in Hall of Fame is the ultimate. You know, I mean, and to be in the Hall of Fame in anything, but in the National Football League, it's epic. It's epic. And there's great players that I saw play from the beginning. Guys like Mel Gray, Lem Barney, you know, Russ Grimm.
You probably saw my uncle here, Robustelli, play.
I loved Andy Robustelli. I loved him so much. He looked like Italian grocer, if you will, guy that would be selling, but he'd rip your heart out. Played the inside tackle for the New York Giants. Yep. Played on the Gifford Y.A. Tittle team. Del Schaffner, Pat Summerall. I'll go all night long like Lionel Richie. And I just loved those teams. That was my league, the 60s and the 70s. People want to call me a boomer.
Charlie Connerly. All them
yeah,
guys.
You want to call me a boomer. You're damn right I am.
You know what?
I saw it at its best. I saw football at its best.
I don't really bring those guys up that much anymore, but because they don't really know the names, you know the names.
You got to teach these kids the names.
Hey, Dick Mozaleski.
I love Dick from the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, Cat Cabbage was on that D-line. Rosie Greer was on that line.
Roosevelt Brown?
Yeah, Roosevelt. All them guys. Listen, they were on that line with Andy Robustelli.
I got one with you. I got a great player that nobody talks about.
Pat Summerall was on that team.
You know what I would tell kids, the younger guys? Do you want to learn how great pro football was? Because most of the guys that we loved in the 60s would play now. Don't tell me Sayers couldn't play in this league. Don't tell me Walter Payton couldn't play in this league. Don't tell me Butkus, he'd be outlawed in this league. Don't go there.
That's probably, you know what? I tell people that I'm not sure Lawrence Taylor could play in today's time because you know what? It's not because of talent. It's because he'd be outlawed because of how they played the game.
That's right. It would be look, I'll give you a guy. Jimmy Patton, defensive back of the New York Giants, number 21. When I was a kid, he had the slick back hair. I go, this guy, this is what you want to be. Good looking guy. Single. I mean, I'm like 12 thinking about this. In the NFL, Jimmy Patton, you know? So we had all our favorites that we'd get in football cards and stuff like that. And you tell the kids about these guys, they should have a class on old school football in the colleges. I bet you do an overflow crowd.
How about this, Mike? You see that jersey right there?
Andy at number 81.
Listen, no, but that jersey is the New York Giants Hall of Fame when they inducted him into the Ring of Honor.
God bless him.
Get this. That was willed to me. That's his.
Yeah.
This jersey here was willed to me.
It's a great honor.
It was given to me, and it was the one that was hanging up in the New York Giants old stadium, the old stadium that they used to have. So
that's a great honor, and he was
a former MVP actually of the NFL.
The guy was just he clogged up the middle. The classic games, Baltimore, the New York Giants.
Oh yeah,
you gotta look.
You know, he'll never talk about that 50. He'll never talk to you about that 57 title, that 56 title game. He hated that game. I gotta ask you this now: the NBA.
Why do you hate the game, by the way?
What's that? Because he lost the championship game with Alamici.
I know Alan Amici. Well, at least another Italian got in the end zone.
And a Heisman winner too, by the way. Mike, what do you make of this NBA?
Well, back in the day, over 30 years ago, and I'm glad that people on Twitter realized what I said. Back when I was in the early 90s handicapping football, I said if they ever legalized the game, there'd be all sorts, as far as gambling, there'd be all sorts of problems. Well, now the last 7 years I've been preaching that the prop bets were the worst bet you could ever make, okay? And that they were easily manipulative because to fix a football game or a baseball game or even a basketball game, you need a group. You need a group of men. To fix a prop, you just need one guy. And he could poison. He could be the one that jumps in the barrel and spoils the whole bunch, babe. So I predicted this, and good to hear my guys, Dr. J and Dave Kerner, Dr. J, who's a financial guys who know me for years, saying I called this because Adam Silver's spineless, number one. Okay. He says the other day, we wish that the casinos and the apps would step back a little bit with the prop betting. Don't wish it. Tell them. You're the commissioner. Have a spine. You're the one that started this with the load management crap that rewarded billionaires, millionaires, 30 million a year. I'm not going to play half the season. I'm going to fake injury. Prop bets. I'm going to go limping out. And people will understand if I have a little sprained ankle that anybody from the 60s and 70s would play on. Okay? So they manipulate everything in the NBA. The players, they showed a thing on X today, and I encourage everybody to look
you
it up.
think the players rigged the game through load management?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the injury reports were coming out late last year. There was complaints. You'd be putting 500 on the Lakers, and then you find out LeBron's sitting. And you found out like an hour before game time. I've had people, including Prop Swap and other apps, say they have to tighten that. Okay? But when you sit out a game, or when you say you have a sprained ankle and you may play partial a game, and you tell Damon Jones that, and then Damon Jones gets on with a line of people, and they tell other people. And
you're talking about the Milwaukee game where LeBron didn't play, and
right.
Jones had information.
But let me tell you, I don't think Jones is the only guy. I think there's others involved that when they find out, not just LeBron, they'll find out, Durant turned his ankle in practice. He may play only half of the game. And they'll go, oh, my God, okay, good. And they'll get that information. They'll go, I'll bet the under. And then that's what's transpiring with prop bets. But there's guys fixing on the game on their court when they're on the court. I'm not going to take the last shot here. But they showed Gary Payton Jr. today on X. He's on the Warriors at the time, I believe. They're giving the Wizards or somebody 11.5. Warriors are winning by 12. Gary Payton Jr. is out of the game, and his team's winning by 12, right, Dan? They're winning by 12. Clock's running down. Golden State takes an early shot. They miss. Here come the Wizards. Wizard gets the ball, and it's on X if you want to look it up, folks, and shoots the ball in. So now the dog covers, and Peyton's on the bench, fuming after they won by 9. And they're going, that's the guy that bet on the game. That's what they're going to start looking at. Everybody else, every player that bet on his game, they all get up in the morning, look at themselves on the little screen and see what their prop bets are. Let me ask you a question. Do you like bowling?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a 175 average, but let's say it's on the MGM. Mike North, Wednesday night, bowling league, Chicago, over under 175. I see a lot of the action coming in on the over. Mike, I'm really honest in real life, folks, but Mike, being the dishonest guy, calls BB, his wife, and says, B, call Johnny, my brother, in South Carolina, tell him to put $5,000 on the under. I ain't hitting a head pin hardly all night. 165. So what I'm trying to say is anything you can fix with one person is nothing but trouble. But they're not going to give up on prop bets because they make so much money.
I'm going to ask you
that was about as good as anybody's ever
done.
Dude,
that was great because I never looked at it. I never looked at it that way. You're dead on, man. Hey, real quick before I ask you this really difficult question.
I love difficult questions.
I'm going to ask you, do you think this is going to span across other sports?
It already did, Dan.
NFL, Major League.
2017. They let the Astros get away with that crap, okay? And let me tell you something. Who's the guy that's on? Bergman, okay? Bregman, all right? He's topping from team to team, making hundreds of millions. If they would have banned him in 2017, you may not be having this problem. They let him go. No bail and nothing. They said, thanks, because they knew other people and maybe other teams were doing it. They squashed it. Manfred and Silver. I like Manfred for some of his innovations. I'm not going to dog the guy, but they're weak when it comes to the gambling type of thing.
Mike, did Michael Jordan gamble on NBA basketball?
No. Of course, I didn't think Pete Rose gambled. So you're asking the wrong guy. And Pete was a buddy of mine. You're asking the wrong guy because Mike, I swear to God.
Mike, you have great love. You have great love and respect for Jordan. Those 2 years out. Wait, those 2 years out. Okay, wait. Jerry Reinsdorf did own the White Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you still have him under your umbrella
mm-hmm.
when he's playing with the White Sox.
No doubt.
Okay?
Yeah.
You don't think when he got, now I won't say caught, questioned for him being in Atlantic City during the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
You don't think there was.
Oh, wait, look, we beat the crap out of them. I see Michael, when I see Michael again, and Michael's
isn't he a notorious gambler?
Oh, yeah. But when I see Michael again, I'm going to tell him we were too hard on you. I said, because he was sort of like, he still does so much good. He's come out even better than any man I would have imagined would come out.
I love him on this NBC thing.
Yeah, and with his fame and everything else, he's handled it, I think, as good as anybody could handle it. He's one of the top 5 most recognizable, if not top 3, 2 most recognizable athletes ever. And that I had the pleasure of being his friend for a brief minute, knowing him, hanging with him, playing ball with him playing 16-inch softball in charity games at Dillon's. He ingratiated himself to Chicago. It wasn't a one-way street. I mean, he didn't have to do anything for anybody. And I know
that city loves him.
Oh, let me tell you something. There's not too much, and I covered the guy from 92 on in the media, but before then I loved him. I mean, I went to the first season of the Bulls in 67, and Sloan and Walker and Love and Mata saved the city because they had tried basketball twice before, the Stags and the Packers, and they folded. This was their last chance. So that's why those numbers are retiring up there in those rafters. Those guys made the playoffs their first year. That paved the way for Chet Walker and Van Leer and those guys.
Bob loves teams and all them.
Yeah, and then Jordan comes in, and I used to sit at the stadium. Madonna walks by. There's celebrities all over the place. In Chicago, during the 90s, it was the greatest. The 90s in Chicago, never again. It was like the Roaring 20s, parties every night after the Bulls games. Downtown was hopping, and Jordan was one of the main catalysts. That's it, and he's the greatest I ever saw play any sport.
Absolutely, he was. World Series tonight. What do you got?
I like Toronto.
Shohei Ohtani and that group. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the Dodgers are bad for baseball? What I mean by that is there's $375 million in payroll for that team.
Don't we wish our owners did that? Don't we wish our owners did that?
Yes. Major League Baseball, though, they don't have the same punch, though, the NFL does. The NFL has parity, and they have profit sharing. That's why their sport is number one, because they care about the horrible teams, Mike. Does baseball care about the horrible teams?
I had Houston the other night, and I actually stayed up for 3 hours, and it wasn't because the owners or how great the players are. The game sucked. It was because of gambling. If they take gambling out of football tomorrow, okay, you and I are doing the Sil show about curling as a new sport, replacing football, because half the football games every Sunday suck, and the other half are good, but you never are guaranteed. Okay, so I'm just saying gambling has made it probably impossible for Joe to buy the refrigerator for his wife she needs so badly because he's lost it all. And that's why we have gambling shows now. Of course, some of these people are 11 years old, and you're wondering, how did they get a gambling show? I take the Bears because they got a big mascot. Yeah. And, so to me, in the next 5 years, there's more credit card problems and everything else because of gambling, man. And football's one of the range drivers and now the prop bet thing. Well, first of all, it's good to have the families back. They had disappeared for a while. I kept insisting to my friend they're all still around. I said the Lucchese's
when I heard Lucchese, Genovese, Gambino, I was like,
I got a hurt. We're back.
What fellas again?
And you're knocking down statues now? You better be careful. The Luke Caseys are back. You knocked down that Columbus Day statue. I'm telling you now.
Especially in Chicago. Especially in
I'm
Chicago.
Just glad. I was tearful. I watched the 80s on Reels, and I go, what happened? But they're all back. All the families are, the Chicago family's intact. And Chauncey Billups, he was ushering some people with some major league money.
Wait a minute. The Sam Giancone family's back?
Maybe relatives. Relatives. All I know is I met Phyllis McGuire. She was a hottie when she was like in her 70s.
That was JFK. That was JFK's chick, right?
Yeah, and Sam. So there was a problem. The president and the head of the mob. A little bit of an issue. Well, having trouble jumping.
Wait a minute. I just figured something out. No wonder JFK won Illinois.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? Between Daley and Giancana. Oh my God. Don't worry. But then you can't turn your back. You can't turn your back.
All right. Do the Eagles win on Sunday against the Giants?
Wow. 7 points. They're giving the Giants 7 points.
Now, has that number moved at all since the AJ?
7. If it goes to 7.5, I'm not. I think right now you'd have to lean Eagles. I mean, you got Carter back, and you got.
If it goes 7.5, would you take Giants in the number?
You're almost tempted to, and you got a running game. You got Scannable. You got an escapable quarterback. You got Carter back on your side, right? Is that his name? Carter,
yeah.
The Jalen Carter back. And, and I've been brushing up on Philly. But I know most of the players because they're in the playoffs because of some great players. A lot of people are taking the Eagles. That doesn't mean they're not going to cover. A lot of people are taking the Eagles.
All right, last one here for you.
Probably money line on the Eagles.
Chicago at Baltimore, you got them? You're going to be one pissed off guy pretty soon because your Bears are going to be 6-2, you know.
And I'm betting against them like the last 2 weeks, and they're winning these games. What do you? My whole childhood. Look, here, I got some change in my pocket. That's the money I've had betting the Bears over 60 years. Okay, I'm lucky I'm up. I mean, my God, and then all of a sudden they're grasping miracles.
Mike's got Canadian nickels in his pocket.
Oh my God, it's crazy. But I think. Look, the Bears have had some good breaks, but they lead the league in turnovers. And I said last week, well, they're not going to do that again, get that many turnovers. They did. They got 3 turnovers again. So that's it. I would take the Ravens, hoping they can play almost Lamar Jackson questionable now. That would be another break for the Bears. 3 breaks in a row, but you're taking advantage of them and winning. And now with that guy out, Lamar Jackson, then you're looking at Brett Hundley. Okay, we'll take him any day of the week.
A birdie told me by the name of Munkin that Lamar's playing Sunday.
Okay, and I wouldn't doubt him, but they just said that he's like questionable. Okay,
yeah,
you got to keep track of the guy.
You just got to telling me about guys rigging the games.
I'll tell you, it'll be a long time before I play poker in Vegas again. No wonder. I'm always going to blame the X-ray tables. That's how I lost.
The X-ray tables.
They cheated me with the X-ray tables.
Mike, next week we're good?
I say that every week.
Okay.
I don't know if you have 3-4 scotch and waters and you go, I miss Mike, and you go, hey, Mike, we back on yet. I don't know.
Scotch and waters.
I look like a 50s detective right now. I mean, this is not good. Wait a minute, hold on.
You look like Columbo.
Hold on. Hey, let me tell you something. One more thing.
Mike, I do love you, man. I appreciate you doing this.
Hey, let's try this. I'll be here next week. I'm announcing it to the many people.
There you go.
Next week, we should take some questions.
Okay.
You know why?
We'll take questions next week. I got it.
I didn't know you played at Miami. Did you really play at Miami?
Yeah, wait a minute. I'll just hook you up here. Yeah, we used to kill that Notre Dame team of yours. Yes.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Luke Holtz.
No. No,
Lou
here's
Holtz and
here's
Jimmy
what,
Johnson were great, but
Hey.
later on, I get it.
no. Here's what Lou would do. I just said, I don't know how this Miami team is. And Jimmy Johnson would go, Lou, you're 10-0. I don't know how we're going to beat that Miami team. Those Miami guys have so much speed in it. Lou, you're 10-0. What are you talking about?
I did an appearance with them. A question and answer, just me and him. He was unbelievable, man.
I got to tell you a funny
What
thing.
a speaker!
Listen to this. So I was at a presser with him because he lives in Orlando,
Right?
And he said, somebody asked him, he goes, Coach, why did you ever leave William and Mary? You always said that you really loved it. He goes, well, I'll tell you what I really did. For me, one of the things about William and Mary, one of the greatest places I ever coached in my entire life. My only problem was there was just too many Marys and not enough Williams. And that's why I left William and Mary.
Wow.
Dude, he's one of the truly great
guys. He was so, and one thing, big game coming up. I know people are going to bet LSU. I've bet against Brian Kelly the last
Me too.
couple, and
I can't stand the guy.
And now Texas A&M automatically is going to lose to Brian Kelly. Okay, we'll see what happens. But it's pretty tough when you go. I think A&M's favored. I keep hearing. I keep hearing. You don't want to go to bed at night. They're true. They're 13-1.
Hey, did you see Marcus Freeman turn that Florida job down?
Because he's got a better job on it. As I'm sorry,
we're not paying him more.
No, look, Notre Dame is Notre Dame. They're in the mid. Look, where they are is the ghetto of the Midwest, South Bend. Sorry, that's just how when it comes to things to do. It's not where you'd want to go to college yet. But I was in the service. I lived across the street from Kansas State. That was a party school. Miami.
I was recruited there, Mike, and I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, but Kansas State was fun, Kites and all those other places. Then Miami. There's also Penn State's great on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You kidding me? But it's Notre Dame, and I give the guy credit. And he seems.
I love him.
Such a sincere guy.
I really like him.
And he got him in the. Somebody said, "Boy, Notre Dame's really slipped, hasn't it?"
No,
they were in the championship game last year. What are you talking about?
I think they've upgraded from Kelly.
Absolutely, and I love watching Kelly. I'm going to bet against Kelly out of spite, and I don't like to do that.
Yeah, and I call him the main Cajun because all of a sudden now he's got a Cajun accent.
How doing?
Yeah, he's got a new Cajun accent down there.
How the hell are you?
Mike, the guy's from Maine. I mean, what are you talking about, guy? Mike, I will see you later, my friend. Thank you so much, as always.
So long, everybody.
You got it. That is Mike Moore.